Okay, today's tutorial on how to reattach the Madame Alexander doll head. She comes with a white rope and some crimps. So I bought some white rope on the internet. It has a little elastic stretch, it's very tight. I bought in the electrical aisle of the hardware store some crimp sleeves, 1810. And I had to go get a crimper to crimp the metal. And some of you use blow dryers. My husband happened to have a heat gun, and it's very quick. So I had to heat gun the head to get this little plastic part out of the head, and I'm going to heat the head up again to insert it. Okay, so I heated her head up, and it gets really nice and soft for a while. And I've put my crimp on, and I put my bell on, and I'm going to insert this in the head. Okay, so I'm going to run the string down her body. And I think the hardest part about repair is that all this would not exist when they put the doll together. So it's kind of hard to get the big tools in there, but we'll give it a try. So I'm going to run this down through the body. Find it. Put my bell on. Put the bell on. So I have it facing with the ball point out, and I think that's to hold the crimp on. Might as well slide my crimp on with it. Cut up there. Slide that up. Slide it all the way up in there. I don't know if I'll have success here. I've got the right parts, but she's already been put together once. So I'm going to put this in my lap, and I'm going to pull this string as tight as I can as I get my crimper in to crimp it. And that's the way you do it. I finally had success. Her head is super tight. You just have to pull this string as hard as possible. Put your crimpers in there, which I didn't have to. I could use the tips. That actually worked. I can't show you the neck, but the bell is up so that the crimper holds around. And there you saved $30 for a repair. So I'm going to repair my Madame Alexander doll head. And I cut off this rope in her head, between the head and the neck. And now I'm going to take a seam ripper and open her body, which they did such a beautiful job of stitching her. It's just amazing. I'm going to take the stuffing out. I have new, so I might as well just replace that. Quite a bit of it in there. I think I can get in there with a pair of pliers and get that rope. Okay, so I got it out, the head part, and I'm going to put a crimp on the top. Cut that until I get this done. Okay, so I've got that part, and I'm going to insert that back up in the head. So I have the heater head back up. That's it. And that's it for the heat. I'm going to run this back through her body. Let's see. Put my bell on, the ball up, so it holds the crimp. And then a little cut. Put the washer on. And crimp. And I'm going to push this up through the doll. So this Madame Alexander doll was a little harder. I did manage, as you repair her, they've replaced her with plastic, and these plastic things all come up and go through this thing, so it's, you can't get the giant grozers in there. And I use these cutting pliers, and what I had to do was back out the crimp sleeve, put it on like this, go into the neck, which I didn't have. I just pulled on the string as tight as I could and slid the sleeve down and then crimped it, because there was just no way of pulling, leave the crimp down there, and then put the tool in there. There just wasn't enough room. So I'm going to see how this works before I have another doll I'd like to fix, and I'm just betting her body has changed too. But now her head doesn't have to be up in the air, and we'll see how it goes. Bye. So they're both up. This one was made in 2011, and she actually has a better body, I think. She's rope inside and much sturdier. This is a 2012 model, Madame Alexander, and I guess that's when I called them plastic inside her, but it's actually wire, and this plays heck. When the kids play with them, I imagine they get bent, and I'm trying to bend them straight back up so that at least they can stand up. So there you have it. 2 repairs and the differences between them. Thanks. Bye.